千万不要开美容院，千万不要开美容院，千万不要开美容院。
Never open a beauty salon. Never open a beauty salon. Never open a beauty salon. I'll say it 3 times because it's that important. Especially this year, there are so many newcomers with no experience. People often say how great it would be to open a beauty salon in my hometown. Look how much money they're making, how profitable it is. They think it's a way to make money while getting beautiful at the same time. But here's the thing, insiders know the real situation, while outsiders just see the excitement. Those who have been in the beauty industry for years already know this. I now wish I could just close my shop. Why? Because what you think is a profitable industry was our reality 10, 20, or even 30 years ago. Now, the whole market environment has gone downhill. So, if you're thinking of opening a beauty salon this year, I can confidently say there's a 90% chance you'll close it within 3 months. For many newcomers, my advice is simple. Find a job and avoid opening a beauty salon in the next few years. Trust me, it's better to stay away from it.
我在东胜开的一家170平米的美容院。
I opened a 170 square meter beauty salon in Dongshan. It closed down today. Over the course of a year, a lot of things happened. There were many moments that made me want to give up. Today, it finally closed. What does entrepreneurship really mean? It means freedom, not having to answer to anyone, making your own decisions. But the truth is, you're bound by responsibility and pressure, and it's less free than working for someone else. The reality is, the investment feels like a bottomless pit, with no return in sight.
后面呢，我就把所有的积蓄拿来
I invested all my savings into a large professional beauty and wellness center for over 1,000 square meters. It shut down overnight, and 3 million yuan went down the drain. Now it's overrun with weeds. Every time I pass by, it breaks my heart. This is the first floor. I decorated the 3rd floor really well. The 2nd floor had nearly 15 to 16 rooms. I handpicked all the decorations and accessories from Guangzhou. Each item was chosen with great care. The closure hit me hard. China's economy has entered a cold winter. Beauty salons across the country are closing or being handed over. Shanghai is no exception. A beauty industry blogger posted a video saying familiar old shops are closing just like that.
大老远特意来这边拜访。
I came all the way here to visit this shop. It was open on October 1st, but now it's empty, not a soul around. I thought there was another store nearby. When I checked, this one had also closed. It shut down with a sign saying, internal adjustments temporarily suspended. Wow, it's been such a tough year. This is Zhonghuan Plaza in Shanghai, prime real estate.
The medical aesthetics industry is highly dependent on location. Core commercial areas, office buildings, and beauty clusters are the best choices. However, beauty salons in top-tier cities' prime areas are now closing, which shows that the beauty industry in China is facing an unprecedented survival crisis.
我这个投了70多万的店。
I invested over 700,000 yuan into a salon. In more than 6 months, it was only open for 35 days. The rent and wages alone lost me around 200,000 yuan. Since the flood started on July 20th, the once bustling beauty and clothing stores are now dead quiet. Whether open or closed, physical stores still have to pay rent every day. It's hard to imagine that even though the pandemic has ended for so long, the business is still like this.
300万3个月没了。
3 million yuan gone in 3 months. Beauty salons just shut down like that. This shop was near ours. Before it opened, I thought, great, finally, a high-end lifestyle beauty salon with light medical aesthetics. We can build a relationship. I thought our clients would definitely overlap with theirs. I even wanted to meet the owner. But after the new year, it opened for less than a month and shut down. How long did this shop last? About 3 months? 3 months. They spent over a month on the renovation and then it shut down. Right. How big is the shop? About 300 square meters. 300 square meters? The rent must be around 100,000 yuan a month, plus 200,000 for equipment and 100,000 for the renovation. This is what I'm saying. Beauty salons can't afford to be too big. If you don't have a strong foundation and no customers to build up in the early stages, you're essentially putting all your risk and cash flow into the first 3 months. But with such high-end shops in this top mall, where are your early customers supposed to come from? Do you really think the rich people you know in the city will come? If they don't come in the first 3 months, how will you attract high-end clients? That's why we insist on focusing on mid to high-end, not top tier. Once there's even a small cash flow problem, it all collapses. The beauty salons that have announced their closures typically last around 3 months. Some lasted 6 months and others even less. The beauty industry has a famous 3 months curse. where 95% of the business run out of funds and have insufficient income after 3 months, ultimately forcing the store to close. The industry giant in China's beauty sector, Yu Wenhong, issued a warning on October 11th, saying in a video,
我说的是美业全体完蛋。
I'm talking about the entire beauty industry collapsing. By next year, it will be impossible to continue. New customers don't have money anymore. Over the past year and a half, we've been relying on support from old customers, but now the resources from old customers are exhausted. Without new customers, it's over. Are there any new customers for beauty salons? Old customers can't spend anymore because they have no money. On top of that, JD.com has lowered their prices in medical aesthetics. Everyone knows about JD now, and they won't come to us for services anymore. Our business is completely finished. Look at JD's outcome. JD will open its own factory, and their retail price is cheaper than the factory price of our products. If you rely on technology, even hospitals are getting into the game. Their prices are low, and the technology is good. Why would my customers go to your channels? What advantages do you have to attract their customers? Do you have traffic? Can you offer such low prices? When this last batch of customers is gone, the whole industry is finished. Once considered the internal sunrise industry, the beauty industry is now facing an unprecedented survival crisis. According to official data, in 2024, the closure rate of beauty salons nationwide reached 60%, with over 1.8 million stores disappearing, meaning about 5,000 beauty salons are removed from the market every day. This scale of store closure not only reflects structural problems within the industry, but also exposes the profound impact of the economic downturn on non-essential consumption sectors. The middle income group, once the main consumer force in beauty services, used to spend large amounts of money on beauty to enjoy high-end treatments and brand experiences. However, as the job market fluctuates and layoffs become frequent, these households are starting to reassess their spending priorities. Beauty care, being a non-essential service, is often the first item to be cut. In a survey by the Zhejiang Chamber of Commerce, respondents revealed that hundreds of beauty salons across the province have closed or been sold this year. This directly reflects a shift in the consumption mindset of middle-income families. People are moving away from luxury beauty treatments to more cost-effective daily care, even opting to take care of themselves at home to save money. This shift is not an isolated case, but a common trend, particularly evident in first-tier cities. Mr. Wang from the Zhejiang Chambers of Commerce said, in our survey, we found that around 400 to 500 beauty salons have closed or been sold across the province. When we asked a few chain stores in Hangzhou City and Wenzhou City, they all said this year has been much harder than last year. Some chain stores can't hold on anymore. On November 20th, a report by Guanwang Finance stated that the beauty industry is worth nearly 500 billion yuan. Among nearly 1 million beauty institutions across the country, 90% are still single-store operations. However, the industry structure has started to decline and the changes are happening quickly. The business model of beauty salons have also exacerbated this crisis. Single-store operations with their highly decentralized structure makes it difficult for any small shops to achieve economies of scale and to withstand market fluctuations. While chain brands have a slight advantage, they are still struggling to remain unaffected by the downturn. This industry-wide wave of store closure has also impacted ordinary consumers. Many beauty salons, after collecting repayments from consumers, suddenly shut down, leaving consumers facing financial losses and difficulties in defending their rights. In Beijing, Ms. Wang, a department head at the Bank of China, told reporters that a beauty salon she frequented suddenly closed in early November. She is considering filing a complaint with the relevant authorities. She said, "There's a beauty salon I often go to, and suddenly it just shut down. There wasn't even a piece of paper on the door, and no one informed me in advance. I had just renewed my membership for the year, over 10,000 yuan, and now it's gone. I was really angry at the time." Several business owners reported that since March, foot traffic to beauty salons have significantly decreased. The purchase cycles has lengthened. Fewer people are signing up for memberships, and store income is no longer enough to cover costs. Ms. He, who works in the Korean beauty products agency business in Shanghai, said orders have been dropping since the beginning of this year. People used to visit beauty salons several times a month, but now families with a salary of 5,000 to 6,000 yuan are under so much financial pressure that they don't want to buy or renew memberships. Previously, foreign company managers were willing to spend, but now that many foreign companies are withdrawing, many people have left as well. Ms. He said this round of cost cutting has been particularly noticeable for her. She explained people who can afford Korean beauty products and treatments are typically supported by the overall family income. In the past, when the husband had money, the wife would go to beauty salons, but now with family finances tightening, beauty treatments are definitely the first thing to be cut. I've also lost many old customers. This isn't just about one or two shops. It's a shift in the entire consumer mindset. Ms. Zhang, who has been running a store in Hangzhou for over 10 years, told reporters that this year, customer numbers have decreased significantly. She said it used to be normal for customers to come once a month, but now even coming once every 6 months is considered frequent. Everyone has started budgeting their expenses. This year, the number of customers has dropped considerably. The dilemma faced by the beauty and cosmetic industry is essentially a shift in consumer behavior. As income expectations decline and living costs rise, consumers are starting to reconsider the necessity of beauty spending. Chen Xi, a white-collar worker at an internet company, used to spend over 3,000 yuan a month on beauty and cosmetics. I would visit the beauty salon for skin management once a month, spending 800 yuan. Buy a luxury lipstick for over 300 yuan and a set of skincare products for over 2,000 yuan. Now, her beauty and cosmetic bills have been reduced to under 1,000 yuan. I stopped going to the salon and started doing face masks and using beauty devices at home. I only buy domestic affordable lipsticks costing just a few dozen yuan each. I choose basic moisturizing skincare products, a set for just over 500 yuan. Chen Xi's change is not an isolated case. Many white-collar workers are beginning to downgrade their consumption, replacing international luxury brands with affordable domestic products, swapping beauty salon treatments for DIY at home, and shifting from non-essential items like lipstick and perfume to essential products like moisturizers and sunscreen. Chen Xi said, I used to think using luxury brands makes me look good, but now I think practicality is the most important. If I can save, I will. Especially this year when I didn't get a year-end bonus and rent went up, I can only cut costs on these non-essential expenses. The beauty industry has long been seen as an important part of urban middle-class consumption. Now, more and more young people, including urban white-collar women, are giving up daily makeup in favor of bare makeup or even no makeup lifestyles. On Weibo, there was a popular topic called I'm not wearing makeup for work tomorrow, which accumulated over 300 million views. The topic's introduction read, makeup for work is time-consuming and exhausting. I'm not doing it anymore. Apart from being time-consuming and exhausting, the more critical reason is that many workers who self-deprecate as oxen and horses may actually be more exhausted than real oxen and horses, leaving them with little time or mood for makeup. Several scholars pointed out that the recent wave of closures and store transfers in China's beauty industry is related to the current economic environment, industry competition, operational pressures, and changes in consumer psychology. One scholar stated that the economic downturn and consumption downgrading are the most direct factors influencing this trend. They mentioned that after overall incomes shrank, many families' disposable income decreased, leading to more cautious purchasing behavior. Beauty services, especially mid to high-end ones, are generally seen as discretionary expenses that can be postponed. As spending tightens, beauty treatments, a form of self-indulgence, are often the first to be cut. With fewer customers and slower repeat purchases, store revenue naturally fails to keep up. The impact of this closure wave extends far beyond the stores themselves. It has affected the entire supply chain, from beauty product suppliers to industry workers. Ms. He, who works as a distributor for Korean beauty products, mentioned that her orders have sharply declined and many stores are struggling to stay in business. This, in turn, has affected upstream production and imports. Millions of beauty professionals face unemployment or career changes. The industry faces severe talent drain. This also reflects the overall transformation of China's consumer market. Not only the beauty industry, but also the cosmetic industry is deeply mirrored in difficulties. Once thriving thanks to the traffic bonus, it now faces a collective performance failure in 2025. Many cosmetic stores are struggling to stay afloat and are forced to close. On November 17th, the beauty influencer posted a video saying,
干了10多年的化妆品，如今也要不干了。
After more than 10 years in the cosmetic business, I'm closing down. We're holding a clearance sale, just clearing out all the products. All the products downstairs are being cleared, selling at a loss. This year has been the worst year in over 10 years. I really can't continue. This cold wave is clearly reflected in the financial reports. China's leading domestic cosmetic brand, Proya, reported a revenue of 1.73 billion yuan in Q3 of 2025, an 11.6% year-over-year decline, and a net profit of only 220 million yuan, a 23.6% drop. Following Proya, leading companies like Bloomage, Biotech, IMIC, Botany, and Vulgar have also seen both revenue and profits decline. Vulgar's revenue dropped by 11.5% and its net profit plummeted by 37%. Botany's revenue fell by 14% and its net profit dropped by 34.4%. Bloomage Biotech's revenue decreased by 18% and its net profit declined by 30%. IMEC's revenue dropped by 21% and its net profit fell by 31%. The rise and fall of China's domestic cosmetic brands mirror the downward trend of consumer spending in China. The collapse of physical retail is just the tip of the iceberg in this crisis. Sasa International, a Hong Kong-based cosmetic retailer after being in the mainland for 20 years, closed all 18 of its stores by June 30th. Previously, it had closed 14 stores with cumulative losses around 45 million Hong Kong dollars, facing a deficit for at least 6 consecutive years. L'Oreal's high-end brand, Shihyo, closed its stores in January, while Max Factor paused operations for its online flagship store on Tmall. An international chain like Sephora are also accelerating their withdrawal. Hangzhou, once a hub of beauty innovation, should have been a testing ground for domestic brands, but now, due to consumption downgrading, it is at the forefront of this trend. Many small to medium-sized chains, which barely survived the pandemic recovery period, are now facing a broken cash flow, forcing them to shut down overnight. Factories are shut down and retail losses are severe. This is not just the disappearance of stores, but the collapse of the offline ecosystem.